What's the haps? I'm John, aka Meroka, and welcome to Spiel. We are in Dark Lion Tier 3, which was the only Tier 3 gate that's not the green levels, and I'm sure I've done the green levels at least 2 out of the last 3 weeks, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm sure I've done that a lot lately. I mean, I like the levels, that's probably why I'm slightly biased towards doing them, but I don't think you want to see Emerald Access for the third time in about 4 weeks. That would just be too many times. So we're here doing stuff that I don't particularly care for, but have no other option to do. So, the beasts. It's the same theme. It's just with fire. Beasts with fire. But there's some other stuff in the gate. Have a quick nosy at the gate map. Yeah, I don't even know what this stratum's supposed to be. There's all sorts of crazy stuff. Fire, I think, is the stratum, actually, isn't it? By the looks of it. So we've got jellies, we've got beasts, we've got fiends. Could be anything. Who knows? Could be fighting all sorts of crazy stuff. I don't have any fire resist on me. I'm not wearing fire resist. That might be an issue. Who knows? Oh well. I'll just pay the energy cost when I inevitably die. So, Kickstarter, eh? How's about that? The Kickstarter wasn't actually live when my video went live last week, which was a shame. I got caught out by the approval process. I wasn't aware there was a lengthy approval process to go through at the time. I was thinking, oh, I'll wait till everything's in place and then we'll just launch the campaign. Good to go, that'll be it. No, the actual Kickstarter team, and this is not made abundantly clear before you do it, even when you're ready to go, when you decide that that's it, your campaign's ready to go, then you have to send it to Kickstarter for their staff to take a look at your campaign and say that yes, this is okay, you're not breaking any rules, which makes sense. I should have expected that, I guess, but I didn't. I'm a fool, what can I say? So yeah, didn't expect that, so that took... We submitted it on the, I don't know, Thursday, I guess, maybe? It was either late Wednesday or on the Thursday, I can't remember, and we didn't hear back from them until Sunday evening. Yeah, it was Sunday evening we launched the campaign, and that's cool. At least we got it done within the week, like I said I would. So obviously going to be links all over my channel to that, because you need to go check that out and watch it. If nothing else, go to the campaign and have a look at the video that Sunil did to promote it at the top of the page, because it's fantastic. He's done a phenomenal job of that. I'd love to take credit for that, being the video man that I am, but I'm not that good. He's actually a media type guy, and he knows what he's doing with video editing. And he's put together a really cool, really professional looking piece. I say professional, the raw footage was a bit sketchy, so it's not great, but the actual editing work that he's done, he's put together a great video out of what fairly poor material he had to work with. So that's really cool. Go see what he's cooked up there, because that's worth watching just for itself. Got 5 minutes spare, go watch that video. And if you are, of course, in the north half of the UK, or indeed anywhere in the UK, and prepared to travel a little ways, you probably want to definitely check out what we've actually got going on in the Kickstarter, because it might be right up your alley. Probably is, because we're aiming to make it friggin' awesome, so it's up everyone's alley and everybody likes it, and yeah, it's gonna be cool. Gonna be cool. So that's shameless promotion out of the way. Or is it? I could talk more. We're at 25%, that's what's happened. We're at 25%, which is good, which is much faster than I ever expected, but then maybe, I guess we're not that high a campaign compared to a lot of other ones. We're not asking for thousands and thousands and thousands here, we're just looking for 330 is our goal. 330 Great British Pounds Sterling. Which is all we need to really get it off the ground. Anything beyond that's a bonus, a treat. Wonderful. So that's totally achievable, and we're well on our way. It doesn't actually take that many people when he actually comes down to it. I thought, oh, we're gonna need. Oh, I was thinking, oh, need like 100 people or more. How can we possibly find 100 people to do this? But yeah, if people are fans, it doesn't actually take that many of them to actually make a fairly noticeable difference. So right at this moment in time, it feels like we're going to have a very small event with a few very die-hard fans, quite frankly. Which is cool in its own right, but I'd like it to be packed. We need lots of people just to turn out. And just be huge. It's all very well getting the money to put a vent on in the whole building, but what's the point of it if it's not full? So we need everybody go buy tickets. Many tickets, lots of tickets. Fill the building. I think the building has a capacity of about 500, so yeah, if we could aim for that figure, that'd be great. Need 500 people. Everyone, please, if you are one of our 500 that we want, please go back us now. Something I was going to talk about last week, because it was relevant last week, and it's not so much relevant now, but whatevs, is that I missed a video last week. Sorry about that. I really try my hardest not to miss videos on any occasion ever, and was that just me or was that level really short? I felt really short. 6 minutes, yeah, that was really, really short. Oh well, let's go down. So I missed a video, and I hate doing that. I went away to America for a week earlier in the year, you know that. I went to PAX East, and I managed to actually fill in all the video content while I was away. I managed to prepare that far ahead of time that I didn't miss a video then. And yet this time I just totally tripped up, and I got an amazing Feed the Beast video put together, and it was probably one of my favourite videos that I've done so far. It was a really good video, and all the footage got corrupted. I think I did explain this in Feed the Beast, but I've had this problem before when I'm pretty sure it's a hard drive issue. Basically, it sort of stops recording. I should change gear for jellies, shouldn't I? Armor should be good for jellies, but what I need is something shadowy. Shadow sword would be nice. That'd do the job. And it's Krukler's birthday, apparently, according to the chat. Happy birthday, Krukler. I don't actually know who Krukler is. I don't spend that much time getting involved in the guild these days. But happy birthday, Krukler, if you ever watch this. So where was I? Yeah, I think it's the hard drive. I've been whining about the hard drive ever since I got this computer, and that's probably, well, it can only be my fault. I cheapskated out on it. At the time, when I built this PC, hard drives were expensive and hard to come by. There was, if you believe the news articles that came out in the year subsequently, there was a kind of artificially inflated hard drive price due to an artificial hard drive shortage. Basically, the manufacturers just weren't releasing the hard drives that they had to sell or something, or they're all going to OEM manufacturers and there was none available to the public, and the prices just stayed artificially high for friggin' ages, and it was really hard to come by them. So at the time when I was building my computer, I paid way over the odds for quite a low-end hard drive. Storage capacity is great on this thing. It's 2 terabytes. Actual speed and quality of the hard drive is pretty damn mediocre though. So whenever I try to write a lot of things to it in a short space of time, like, I don't know, say when I'm trying to record a lossless video in Motion JPEG, which is lossless video, it's very high quality. Actually, it's JPEGs, it must be lossy, but it's far higher quality than compressing it at any rate. I don't know video editing that well. I might pretend to, but I don't. So it's much higher quality and much higher file size than compressing it. And then I use it for some stuff, but my hard drive doesn't like writing it to it like that. It just doesn't work very well. It chokes trying to write that much data at once, and basically when it comes to editing the footage, it kind of works, but it also doesn't, if you catch my drift, which you probably don't. Basically what it does is the audio and video ends up out of sync. If you go back to around Christmas time in the archives, I had lots of issues with it then, and there's loads of videos where you can very obviously see that it's out of sync. That's not good, I don't like that happening. So that needed, and what I really need to do is buy, now that the hard drive crisis, as it were, is pretty much over, I think. I damn well hope it is. should be able to get a pretty good hard drive for a much more reasonable price. Solid state hard drive probably is the way to go, just because they are crazy fast. They are probably what I need. I've seen hybrid state hard drives, which are like solid state and your standard, whatever your standard hard drive is. I don't know. I don't know what you call the translation. What is the difference between a solid? What is a normal hard drive if it's not solid state? It can't be liquid state. Gaseous state. What about plasma? Is it a plasma one? Bose-Einstein condensate. What about fermionic condensate? I'm just throwing science terms out here now regarding states of matter. Okay, so yeah, I don't know the difference between that, but all I know is solid state's faster, and hybrid is supposed to be a hybrid of the two. It's supposed to be the capacity of a standard hard drive with the speed of a solid state. And I don't know if they're any good. I've not heard much about them. I don't know whether they're particularly rated or not. So, research needed there. If it's any good, I might actually take the plunge and buy one of those just for video recording purposes, just so that I've got something to record high quality video on, and then once it's recorded I can transfer it over to the big, slow, high capacity drive that doesn't really matter so much because I'm not writing to it. That'd be the way to go with that one, I think. So yeah, the upshot of that is I can only record compressed video quickly, and the Feed the Beast video I did, I recorded in motion JPEG, which was actually an accident. I didn't mean to do that. The Pokemon series I'm doing won't record properly compressed, so I have to record that in motion JPEG. It's the only way I can do it, and I accidentally left it in that format. I forgot to go into the settings and change that before recording Feed the Beast, and thus it messed it up royally. The other problem is that Sony Vegas, which I normally use for editing, doesn't much like motion JPEG. That was a weird symbol. I didn't recognize that at first. And you know what? It's been like 3 weeks and I still haven't remembered to use my abilities. What is even dash? That's my dash. Total waste of a dash there. I didn't need to do that in the slightest. No purpose to that whatsoever. Just wanted to use it. That wasn't even dash. That was shield bash. I don't even know the difference between them. I need to get into the habit of using those. I need to go whoosh and dash and stuff. I don't think to use it. I'm too busy playing the game. I mean, I'm too busy talking to focus on playing the game even. See, I can't even focus on talking now. I am the worst commentator ever. But I shall try my hardest. Nonetheless. So that's all my technical woes. I've switched back to... oh no, it's not actually. As regards the hard drive as well, I was still having trouble even recording in compressed format. And for whatever reason, the one thing that actually did seem to fix it was just deleting all my old raw footage off the hard drive, clearing up about 800 gig of space. And suddenly everything is running pretty much a-okay now. It'll probably run even better the more I delete, I bet. I don't know why that should be the case. Although, thinking about it, the one thing that sprang to mind was Vex, or Vetches, the guy who makes these super hostile maps. I watch his videos, and at one point he was having some hard drive trouble. And I vaguely recall him talking about his hard drive and ow! Okay, let's do a runner because I need to pop some pills. So I recall him talking about his hard drive, and as far as I understand it, the way hard drive writing works is sort of it tries to find, I guess, a space on the drive, because as you record files to it, it doesn't always record them neatly next to each other in a nice, neat, organized fashion on the drive. It records it wherever there's space, and if you're recording a bigger file and a smaller file, they'll need different spaces, and they'll use different areas, and as you delete things, it'll free up stuff, and I guess as it writes stuff, it takes up more space, so whenever it tries to write new stuff, there are less spaces for it to work. And if I'm trying to write, say, a 4 GB file, or bigger, as I am, particularly with motion JPEG, those end up many gigabytes. Standard footage probably ends up, I don't know, 3 to 4 gigabytes maybe? I'm not sure exactly offhand. But trying to write that much data to the disk when there isn't space to write it on the disk, it suddenly has to go, oh, there's no more space for this, and it has to stop, and the hard drive head physically has to move to a new location to begin recording in a new location. And when you're trying to do that on the fly with a video like that, that causes the stuttering and the errors, I think. So that's also kind of what defragmentation does, as far as I understand it. That sort of compresses everything so it takes up the least space and there aren't just gaps all over the place, and it makes it nice and neat and tidy and all flush with each other. So that's why defragmentation is good, to the best of my amateur knowledge. So that's good. So yeah, cleared up a lot of space, and all of a sudden everything's just going, oh yeah, this is fine, what's wrong? There's no problem here. Yes, yeah, everything's good. Everything's great. So that should be okay for a while until I start filling up the hard drive again. There doesn't seem to be a sort of trigger point. I think it should be a sort of slow deterioration, but I don't know. It just kind of, oh, I didn't change my equipment. Oh, should have put some. Oh nuts, man! Should have put some elemental resist on, because they're gonna toast me. At least I can kill them pretty easy, because I got the right sword for the job. So, what the heck was that? What was that symbol? That looked like the robot symbol, but it was just a material. What? What did I do? There's no robot material. You don't pick up robots and just use them for crafting. I don't even know. So, where are we? Yeah, hard drive, looking at a new one. If anybody can recommend anything or knows anything at all about hybrid state drives, I could really use a recommendation on that score, because I need to know if they're any good. I don't know if they're any good. Fairly straightforward. So that's kind of the story of my life at the moment. Technical issues and Kickstarter stuff. Gnomes says, am I filming? Yes, yes I am. Thank you. Should probably not message you after this one. I've got an auto response, so presumably you have been notified that I am doing so. But hi anyway, you were asking when I was playing, so here I am. This is when I was playing. When I play is Tuesday evenings after work, basically, because that's my Spiral Spiel recording time. I need to play this game more, but it just doesn't... The general gameplay, I can't just do this on a daily basis. I can't just grind Spiral Nights anymore. I need to have a reason to play, and this is my reason to play. So it's just like once a week, I'm afraid. So, whoa! Don't you bring them back to life. That's not good. Get deaded. Bad menders, bad menders. So, ooh, Spiral Nights news. Spiral Nights news. I should probably have some sort of like. I need to come up with some sort of intro to that. This big flashy thing that swirls around on the screen and goes Spiral Nights news, because it's Spiral Nights news. About half an hour ago, before I started recording this, Spiral Nights, or Three Rings I guess, posted on their Facebook feed that the pets, the Spiral Pokemon that everyone's been after for so long now, will be coming out soon. Second half of July is the date for it, and there are some nice new screenshots on showing them in action and stuff over there. And I need to run away and pop a pill because I'm on fire. Yeah, I could probably pop a capsule, but it's too late for that. Too late. Fire's almost out. Ow! Son of a... really don't like these guys much. They're pretty annoying. Well, I suppose the fire ones are a bit easier to dodge than the standard ones. So it's about time for a question. I haven't answered a question in quite some time now. I mean, I've been rambling today, and I rambled for a full 30 minutes last week. So, Gnomesa, there on the screen, whispering me mid-recording, thank you, asks, what is your opinion on DLC in games? Is it a good way to enrich the game experience, or just an attempt at getting more money? Which is an interesting one in the light of recent EA events, because There was a fairly notable video by Total Biscuit that did the rounds the other week about used games. I can't remember if I talked about this myself. It's certainly something I do hold an opinion on. I can't remember whether I've talked about it. Someone remind me if I've already talked about it, and I will either talk or not talk about it myself at some stage. But yeah, Total Biscuit did that video, and it's worth a look if you haven't seen it. It raises some very good points. The one interesting point he raised was that used games, which obviously Microsoft are trying to crack down on a little bit with the Microsoft and the PlayStation, I was going to say, with the Xbox One. Microsoft and the Xbox One are trying to crack down on used games, but used games are good as far as DLC manufacturing goes because it would allow people to sell. Yeah, I know how keys work. What am I doing here? I should just go home now. Right, I'll see you later, guys. I can't play Spiral Knights, I'm useless. So, a used game basically means you sell the game once, the second person picks up the game. Sure, they don't pay the developer, but the developer would still get money if that second, or the third, or the fourth owner of the game buys the DLC for it. So DLC is good in that respect. Used games mean they get to sell the same content, the same copy of the game, multiple times. So that's good, and that's something that would be a good model for them to work on, but they don't seem to be particularly embracing. That's just an aside. Personally, I think DLC often gets used as a very negative term, and it's not always necessarily. There are good and bad types. I don't even know my way around this level. I should head towards where it says the exit is. I think it runs the whole spectrum of quality DLC does. Mystery room. Can we get some treasure? Let's get some treasure. By far the worst form of DLC, the most evil, as it were, is, and I'm guilty of having bought some of these games. I haven't bought the DLC, because having found out what the DLC was, God no, not touching that. Games, and I hate to say it, but Katamari is the one that I know of. The one that I bought. Yes, treasure. Sweet, sweet treasure. I love the music as well, I've said it before, but this Treasure Vault has the best music in the game. I love Treasure Vault music. So Katamari, what that does is all the content is already on the disc when you buy it, but they offer you DLC to unlock the content on the disc that you already own. So you've already bought the content, but the content already shipped on the disc from day one. It was already finished in the game on the disc, and they locked it in order to make some extra money out of you by selling it to you with an unlockable key. That's a really crummy move. No, don't go down that route. Nobody should go down that route. That's awful. And how that wasn't a friggin' PR disaster, I don't know. Maybe people weren't. Well, I guess that's a few years ago. Maybe people weren't sort of as clued in about DLC as they are now. So I don't think anyone does that anymore. I hope they don't. It's almost, but not quite, as bad as your day one DLC. That kind of has an excuse. At least you can kind of justify day one DLC by saying, oh well, we finished the game, but then while the game was being sent to the printing, and they were burning all the discs, however they make discs, I don't know, and then doing all the casing and all the stuff that goes into making a game once the game's actually finished before it goes to the consumer. The developers obviously can't just sit around twiddling their thumbs, so it's either start a new project or make more content for the game that's currently shipped. And an easy way to do that is just DLC, which is frequently how you end up with day one DLC. There's a lot of hatred for day one DLC because it kind of feels like they're just sort of it feels cheap because you've just bought the game and they're already asking you to buy more stuff for it on day one, which it doesn't feel good. I can understand how it comes about, and one could quite comfortably make the case that there probably are some shady people who just withhold content in order to sell it to you again at a later date, because that's the idea. It's, oh, you didn't put all the content into the game and you're selling it back to us on day one for an extra $5, $10, however much, however many Mickey Mouse points it is. And in some cases, that may be true. It's not always going to be true, but it certainly may be in some instances. So that's down on the shadier end of the spectrum as far as DLC goes for me. I'm not cool with the idea, but I understand the idea. Yay, sweet tokens. Cosmetics. Yeah. This is the guy in the green chapeau with the friggin' golden laurel. I'm okay with cosmetics. I don't know if you'd picked up on that. I don't mind cosmetics. The thing is, a lot of free-to-play games, a lot of free-to-play games use the model, and a lot of them get stick for it, and it's not a bad model, it's a perfectly fine model. Works great. The problem with it is often if you start playing a free-to-play game, suddenly they'll start trying to upsell you all this stuff. You just picked up the game. First time I'm like, oh, do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy this? Get ahead in that game. Buy all these stuff. Improve your character because you're gonna look like your character's gonna look awful unless you buy all these things. And it's like, well, I just bought the game. Let me get into the game. I feel like if you push to buy stuff right off the bat, it's meh. It's not good. You don't. It doesn't. It's not a positive feeling. Spiral Knights, I never got that. I don't know if it's changed these days, but jumping right into the game straight off, you know, you're not pressured to buy things. You're allowed to get addicted to the MMO first, because that's how it needs to work. That's how it needs to work well. You need to play the game at your own pace, get addicted to it, and then you're going to want to buy the shiny green hat that nobody else has. That's how they get you. Guns of Icarus is a weird one for me, because I do buy a lot of cosmetic stuff for Guns of Icarus, because that's a paid game, and then they ask for cosmetic paid DLC. But they price that really, really scarily affordably. So when they're just saying, oh, there's this really cool hat, it looks really sweet, your character's going to look fantastic, and all it costs you is $1. And I'm like, okay, so what's $1 in real money? Do the Steam transaction thing. It says, oh, this is going to cost you 60p, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go with that. A really sweet jacket for my character in the game for 60p? That's no big deal. That's nothing at all. I can go for that. I mean, actually, I'm guilty of buying much more expensive things in Super Monday Night Combat, but then, yeah, there are games that do charge you. I think your MOBAs do tend to charge a lot more for skins, for whatever reason. And I'm going to carry on here. I'm going to do one more floor, which means we've done quite a lot of floors, and I'm getting towards running late, but I'm going to keep going on this topic. So, yeah, your MOBAs tend to be like, oh, it's like $10, $20 for a skin. I'm like, that is kind of steep, actually. There's often sales, and you can maybe pick it up a bit cheaper if you wait a bit, but for the most part, it's kind of like, I'm not so sure about buying that. You have to be really, really into it to start paying that kind of money for a skin for your character. And Super Monday Night Combat I was at the time, and I know a lot of people are into like Dota and League of Legends. They're obviously huge, huge games, and people love skins for that kind of thing. Because it's something you're playing all the time, and you've got a character that you love and you play all the time. Yeah, you're going to buy a skin for it. So I should probably see what we're actually fighting here. I didn't really look ahead. We are at Ravenous Warrens, which is beasties, which means my coat's still fine, but I could probably use the right sword for the job. Okay. So that's where we stand on cosmetics. I like them, other people don't, but at the end of the day, they are actually completely and totally optional, and you should never ever feel pressured into buying them because you don't in any way, shape or form need to do so. They're a nice addition if you've got a bit of disposable income, but no one anywhere is saying you need to buy this. You might feel like you need to buy a green chapeau of the rose, whatever, or golden laurel to go on top of your green chapeau and look, as absolutely styling as I do, but you don't have to. Nobody's making you. You can still look pretty good in Spiral Knights with the default gear. There's lots of nice stuff out there that you can play without having to buy hats. Not to mention, you can't even buy this hat anymore anyway, so not without putting down a lot of money to another player. You can't buy it from 3 Rings. That's what I like about it. It's so exclusive. There's a lot of cosmetics. They come around time and time again. You're like, eh. Exclusive things. I'm going to buy exclusive things. Those are cool to me. If nobody else can get it, that makes me want it more. Man, I would love a red or a black chapeau, but sweet holy Moses, those things go for like 40,000 CE last time I checked, which was about the time I sold my blue chapeau, which was about 6 months ago, if not more, which mean, yeah, it was probably near 9 months ago, maybe now. So, Lord only knows what one of those might retail for, if there are any even still in the wild. Scary thought. Scary, scary thought. So, you're getting towards the good end of good content for stuff. Map packs. Map packs, they tend to vary in value for money, but are for the most part pretty good, I think. I bought many a Halo map pack. Prices on them seem to have crept up in recent years. Thank you, Call of Duty, setting the standards to be 1200 Mickey Mouse points instead of the standard which had always been 800, bringing the price closer to £10 than previously, where they were nearer 5. I know it hasn't. It's only a 50% increase in price, but 800 points always felt like £5, whereas 1200 points feels like £10 in real money. So it feels like the cost's doubled. And another big gripe about the Call of Duty ones was they often rehashed old maps, and it was like, now you're actually just selling us content we've already bought before. It was in a different game, but we've already played the content before, and that's not a good move. Don't like that. Well, Halo has recycled maps, but it was always very much a complete overhaul. It was they took the layout of the map and redesigned it from scratch, and it's always classic maps the player base really loved, and like, oh, okay, we've taken Lockout and turned it into a Blackout, or we've taken what was it? Blood Gulch became Hemorrhage, and what's the latest one? Oh, Valhalla. I can't remember what it's called in Halo 4. Because I know I haven't bought it. I know I said I wasn't going to buy it. I haven't bought it. I played my mate's copy of it. So I have played it. I just haven't bought it. So morally I win. So yeah, that's got a new name, and they've remade it for Halo 4, and that's cool. I like that. I liked Valhalla. Valhalla was a very good map. Although that doesn't feel like they've remixed it so much. That feels like it is just very, very close to the original. And I'm like, hang on. Is that the same map? But at the same time, that's not being sold as DLC, so maybe I can't complain about that too much. Who knows? I didn't want to pick up that foolish thing. Let me just shoot the robots. Oh, I hate their shields. You can never land a hit because they just block everything. So map packs, I don't like that they've gone up in price, but for the most part I like what they do. On PC it's not that much of a big deal because quite often stuff like maps tend to be free DLC. I guess your Call of Duties and Battlefields probably still sell you it, but most shooters and things like that I've played, Guns of Icarus does free maps all the time. Awesome Noughts, they're out constantly adding new maps. I say constantly, they've added a few new maps. Guns of Icarus is constantly adding new maps, they're cool. They've added some very, very pretty ones recently, I like those a lot. And the one downside of the map packs is, although technically optional, it kind of doesn't feel optional. It feels essential. It feels like you have to play it. Stuff like servers, you end up getting locked out of servers. Oh, you can't play on this server because you don't have this map pack. Oh, your friends have got this map and they're all playing on this map, but you can't play with them because you don't own the same content as them. Why don't you pay £10 and then you can play with all your friends where you couldn't before? And that's... yeah, that doesn't sit well. That's not a good feeling. Really. It doesn't instill feelings of positivity in me. I don't want to go back to that company and go, oh yes, please take all my money. You're kind of like, you're nickel and diming me to death with maps. So the step up is your mission content, which is very apt for Spiral Knights. See Operation Crimson Hammer. Interesting that we've never seen anything since that ever since. I don't know if they plan on doing anything like that ever again, Kind of odd that they haven't done anything like that since... Ow! Buggers. Ow! Damn it! I hate these guys. I really hate these guys. So, let's get through there. There we go. So, Operation Crimson Hammer, that's a contentious point. Oh my god. A lot of people hate it. Some people like it. I'd probably more hate than like, I would have said, actually, but I don't know. Couldn't tell you any actual figures on that one. I don't know Spiral Knight statistics. I don't spend that much time hanging around in the forums either. And come on, turn around and... Oh god, that was a jelly! Oh my god, that was... that startled me. That was a really good trap. That was completely accidental by the level generation, but that was such a good trap because that was exactly where I wanted to head through the wall. Oh my god. Well played, Three Rings. Even though you didn't intend to do that. Well played. My god. So mission content. I don't mind Operation Crimson Hammer. It's not expensive. And it frequently goes on sale, so you can often pick it up even cheaper. And there's a good 5 long levels in it. It's not something you're going to burn through really quickly. You do have... It's not like a quick instance. You're not doing like Royal Jelly Palace or Romulus Twins or something. It's a long, really challenging mission, especially on Tier 3. On Tier 3 it's so hard. You're properly getting a good challenge out of it. I mean, if you don't want a challenge, maybe it's not for you, but you can't argue that you're not going to get your money's worth trying to get through that content. Plus, there's all the loot and stuff that comes with it, so that's a little bit more value for your money, because you're getting 5-star items straight off the bat, which, I don't know, depends if that's the route you want to go. If you want easy 5-star items, that's a good option for it. Where's the switch? I'm betting it's back here. Yes, it is. Oh, that's just one of many switches. Okay. Good to know. Is there one in here? Oh, no there isn't. Right, where are the switches then? Boop. So, mission content can vary. Quantum Conundrum had some good content. I enjoyed that, actually. There was a good bit in that. Stepping it up a notch again, the best kind of DLC by far, I would have said, that anyone can produce is full expansions. Rockstar are really good at doing full expansions of content for things. GTA 4 had The Ballad of Gay Tony and The Lost and Damned. Both of those were not a hell of a lot more than a map pack, but had as much content in as it was about half the length of the full game, and they felt like really good value for money. They felt like you were really getting something good out of what you bought there. That's good stuff. Undead Nightmare for Red Dead Redemption. That was good content. That was really seriously good content. I like that a lot. Mass Effect had some good ones as well, actually, thinking about it. They also had some bad ones as well. They had some mission content which was just like sort of time trials or sort of challenges. It was like, oh, how quickly or efficiently can you do these sort of missions against targets and things. It was like, well, that doesn't seem like good content. But then they also had Bring Down the Sky. I'm talking about Mass Effect 1 here, by the way, not 2 or 3 even. 2's content was a little bit weird, because that was when they'd started implementing the sort of Operation $10 policy, which was Project Cerberus. So there's some free DLC on launch day, not if you bought the game secondhand. That was kind of weird, the DLC in 2. I haven't played 3. 1's DLC had Bring Down the Sky. Bring Down the Sky was excellent DLC. I liked that. I liked Bring Down the Sky. It was it only added 1 mission to the game, but it wasn't terribly expensive either, and it was a good long mission with a pretty good story to it, actually. I enjoyed that. This sort of terrorist plot to bring a meteor, well, in fact asteroid, crashing into the planet, and you have to infiltrate the terrorist compound and rescue the prisoners and Oh, it had some deep moral choice at the end of it as well, because Mass Effect, obviously, all about the old moral choices. Do we want to go Paragon or Renegade? So that moral choice at the end was like, oh no, I don't want to make this decision. This is a horribly tough decision. I don't want to decide who gets to live and die, and some people will live and die on my decision here. But if I save people's lives, the terrorists win and stuff like that. And oh, yeah, that was good content. That was very, very good content. Need a lot more Bring Down the Sky and Undead Nightmare in this world. That would be great. So where are we missing switches in here? I'm guessing there's one somewhere behind here. Is it here? Yep. Okay, and the door's open, which probably means I can sort of just dash out of here. Okay, that's a lot of robots. See how many I can kill. Pop a pill, pop a pill. Right. Try and get rid of some of these guys first, but oh my word, there's a lot of them. How long is this video? Oh my god, I've been talking for 40 minutes. Yeah, let's just duck out and wrap this up. Right, so thank you very much for watching. I've been Meroka. It's been a pleasure to have you as always. Please like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because liking helps me out a lot and subscribing means you get to see all my content on a regular basis. On top of that, please visit our Kickstarter and backers, because we need your support. Button Mash wants to throw on the best gaming event in history for its size. Disclaimer there. And we need all the support we can get to do that, so please head over to our Kickstarter, link in the outro and in the description below. Please go over there and support us in any way you possibly can, preferably by pledging money to us. So thank you once again for watching. I'll see you next time.